The number 3 biggest mistake that small business owners are making with their websites is ignoring search engine optimization, also commonly called SEO.
Okay, so let's stop there because I believe that this is a huge point. So try to keep it as concise, but also for people that don't know what this is, get it cleared out as to, people, I believe very much when I'm talking to somebody to make sure that they don't go past words they don't understand. So it might be alien for some of our audience knowing what search engine optimization is, or SEO. So let's dumb it down and define this in a way your local plumber would understand it.
Search engine optimization is a method for making changes both on your site and off your site in order to make it easier for search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo to properly position your website in their search engines for the specific words that your customers are looking for.
Okay, so you're telling me if I'm a plumber, let's just bring it down to basics, in Las Vegas, and somebody types in that they're looking for a plumber in Las Vegas, what you do is make my site appear in that's SEO in a nutshell.
That's right. So if you're a plumber in Las Vegas, the first step in doing search engine optimization would be to research what people are actually looking for. There's a very good likelihood that there are a lot of people typing in something like Las Vegas plumber or plumber Las Vegas into Google, Bing, or Yahoo. So our goal with search engine optimization is to make sure that it's easy for Google, Bing, and Yahoo to understand that you are a plumber in Las Vegas and your website is relevant to those people who are typing in those exact words in Google.
Okay, so I'll be the devil's advocate here. This sounds like a lot of hogwash. What's the magic sauce? How do you achieve that? What makes you so special to be able to do that? What the hell?
Well, good SEO boils down to good marketing. So a lot of it comes from building relationships with other people within the industry to help build links back to your site. And these links will over time improve your position in Google. The other thing...
Well, let's stop right there.
Okay.
So what do you mean by a link? Let's go down to, I'm a plumber. What's a link? What do you mean?
A link is when one person mentions your website on their website in the form of clickable text. So when they actually click on this text, it's going to take them back to your website from another person's website.
Okay, so an example of that could be like on my site, sergiochavez.net, I mention, hey, this is my cool friend's Ben's site. And then I make it so that people can click and see your site. Is that a good example of a link?
Sure,
okay.
Sure. It's a piece of it's text that you can click on to navigate to another location on the World Wide Web.
Got it. That's pretty simple. Could it also, instead of being a text, could it be an image?
It could be an image.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Or those little buttons that are on websites that say
it can be a
here?
button. There are many. There are multiple ways.
So any of those is what's called a link.
Right. It's a hyperlink. Correct.
Okay. Hyperlink to make it the official language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, very good. So I think that pretty much could explain it to the layman on the street. All right. What was the other thing? Let's get back on track. So
the other major aspect of SEO is actually what occurs on the site itself. So there's what happens off the site, which is other people creating hyperlinks to your website, which this happens through building relationships, getting your business listed in relevant local type directories. So if you're a plumber, getting your business listed in websites where people are searching for plumbers.
Okay. Give me a second here. You mentioned the word relationships. Aren't you supposed to be a computer genius and just be behind the computers? What do you mean develop a relationship? I don't get that.
There is a technical aspect to search engine optimization, but there is also a human aspect to it.
Wow. What do you mean by a human aspect? I thought this was just all computer gobbledygook.
SEO is where the computer nerd gobbledygook stuff meets the relationship building aspect of being a human. It's the intersection of the two.
So then when I speak to an SEO, it's better that I speak with a guy that's cool and can connect than with just a computer geek. Is that
Right.
Can we interpret that
SEO, SEO is not just typing away some code behind a curtain like the Wizard of Oz and making magic happen behind the scenes. One of the most important things with a successful SEO campaign
Right.
is that the small business helps the search engine optimizer or search engine marketer or marketer, whatever term you want to use.
Or digital marketer.
Digital marketer, right. That they are working with you to promote your business.
Okay.
So it's not just you throw some money at somebody and then you expect magic to happen behind the scenes. There is a lot of hard work involved in promoting a website online, and it involves open communication between the client and the SEO.
That's crazy, man. So it's actually work to do all these things. It's not just punching away in a computer.
There is a code aspect to it, and there is a punching away aspect to it, but there is also a very human aspect to it. Good SEO is good marketing.
Okay, good. So I think that this demystifies a lot of stuff, because you go out there and you see all these people promising the world and moon to bring traffic and customers to their business, but it's just a phone call, and then they just, first of all, the client expects to just from that and paying money be on top of the page, and then the other guys are just doing like scripts or stupid stuff.
Some of them are selling snake oil.
It's true.
Or they're just, they're selling this product month by month, and they're just doing nothing.
It's painful. I've seen it.
It's painful. And then a lot of clients, a lot of business owners, they think that this SEO stuff is hogwash. They think it's mumbo jumbo. They think it's, they don't think that there's any value to this service. And they've gotten burnt time and time again by these unsavory SEO providers who are just taking the client's money every single month, but they're not actually marketing the client's business.
Dude, that really sucks. And believe me,
it does suck.
Yeah, we've seen it in many cases.
We've seen it time and time again with people selling SEO services who simply aren't qualified to do so.
Absolutely, man. It gives a bad rap to the industry.
It gives a bad rap to the industry, and it puts a poor impression in the minds of the business owners out there who have a great product, they have a great service, they need help promoting their business online, and they just go from one person to the other who's only doing them a disservice by either not doing anything at all or taking shortcuts, building low quality links to their site which can actually hurt them in the long term, or using old and outdated SEO strategies which can also be damaging.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, when you're doing SEO, you have to keep up to date with a whole bunch of stuff.
SEO is an ever-changing industry. From one week to the next, things have changed.
Oh, wow.
And you constantly have to be on top of it. You constantly have to stay on the cutting edge. And if you don't, if you're paying an SEO company that is still using yesterday's tactics to rank your website today, you might actually be paying somebody to hurt your business in Google.
Wow.
Of all the marketing strategies out there, whether it's buying a radio ad, buying buying an ad on a billboard, mailers, buying an ad in a magazine, SEO is the only marketing strategy that can actually have a negative impact on your business if you hire the wrong people to do it for you.
Wow, man. Wow, and that's probably, I'd say from my experience, it's 80. And then the rest of the 20, some are really good intentioned, but they don't have the whole chops or the whole picture. Wow.
So getting back to the main point, if you're not paying attention to SEO, you're leaving money on the table, because your competitors will be outranking you in Google. They're going to be getting those leads from those potential customers who could be finding your website but aren't, because for one, you're not doing SEO on your site. The content on your site is not designed in a way that Google, Bing, and Yahoo can best understand what your website is about. You don't have those backlinks coming from those strong relationships that have been built. So if you're on page 2 or page 3 of the keywords that your target audience is looking for, you're virtually invisible.
Right, or even more.
Studies have shown time and time again, the top 3 results in Google get about 70% of the clicks. From 4 to 10, it's about 5%. If your website is on page 2, you're getting maybe less than 1% of all those clicks. So does it make sense, if you're a Las Vegas plumber, to not do any kind of search engine optimization at all, while all of your competitors are making tons of money from these potential clients, while you're on page 2, when you could pay an SEO company who is reputable to do SEO for you? You can make a return on your investment tenfold, if not more, depending on your industry, simply by increasing your position in Google search engine.
That's crazy. And it's going to even be more, because everybody's dropping the phone books and the TV and everything. Everything's on the internet now.
Things have changed. Print ads, radio ads, people are not paying attention to these things as much as they used to. Where do you go to get your news?
Oh, Google, all the time. Yahoo.
When you want to buy something, where do you start? You start on Google, don't you?
Google or Amazon.
Well,
yes.
Guess what? When somebody wants a plumber in Las Vegas, or whatever kind of service or product that you might provide, the first place they're going to start is Google. So the question is, are you putting yourself in front of the eyes of those potential buyers?
Absolutely.
That is the most important question. So if you can pay an expert to help promote your business, to get your business from page 2 to page 1 for those relevant keywords that your customers are looking for, you'd be crazy not to.
Right. Okay. Anything else on this point that you want to talk about?
When you are designing your website, you have to make sure that you have a web designer who understands the basics of SEO.
Okay, and how do I find this out? What questions do I ask the web designer?
Some of the questions you can ask the web designer include, are you optimizing the page for speed?
Okay.
How are we going to work together to structure the website?
Okay.
How are people going to navigate the website? Okay. Some other questions you can ask the web designer. What kind of hosting is the site going to be on? Is it a slow host or is it a fast web host? The slower your website is, the more difficult it can be for Google to rank your website. Google likes the web to be fast.
So, for our audience, could we make a little PDF with these questions so they can download, and whenever they're doing their web design, they can ask these questions to the web designer?
Sure.
Okay, very good.
Absolutely.
So we'll do that. We'll have a link below this video with the questions to ask your web designer when SEO is like how to have SEO within your site. or maybe you need to bring somebody else and have them work together.
Another common issue is sometimes websites are built in a way that it creates a lot of duplicate content on the site. The framework, the way that a web designer and developer might design your website, oftentimes creates a lot of duplicate content on the site.
And wait, you're giving here crazy words. So for our audience, what is duplicate content?
Having the same content across multiple pages on your website.
Okay, so why is that bad?
This can be problematic in Google because it's a sign that your site is low quality. And a low quality site will not do well in the search engine.
Okay. So these questions that you're giving us help us find out if that's going to happen when we're developing our site or not, right?
Right. They're called dynamic URLs. So if your web designer or developer has a system in place to design your website, and their system creates what's known as dynamic URLs that create duplicate pages of the same page on your site, this can cause tremendous problems for you.
Okay. So you got to make sure that we'll add that as a question and make sure that that doesn't happen. I think we're going a little bit beyond the scope, but let's try to land this. So third mistake is not having your site
not paying attention to search engine optimization.
perfect. Is there any other point on this, or should we wrap it up here?
I think we can move on to the next point.
Okay, good. So give us point 4, Ben.